Welcome back to another exciting episode of the Neville Goddard Podcast. It's 6:54 a.m. It is a special time of day for me. The sun is just beginning to rise in the sky. It's a new day. It's a new dawn. It's the time of the eagle. It's the time of new beginnings. Feels like spring. This is where I want you to play today. Go listen to the podcast. Have fun. If you get gold, you know what to do. And thanks for sharing. By the way, I seriously, every single time I find a share someplace, I'm touched. Because I take the time to do this. You take the time to listen. And if you believe it's worth other people's times and you share it, that means heaps to me. Have a great day. Let's dive in. Cool. So one of the things we're exploring in Remarkable is the pathway of the producer. The pathway of the producer is all about this. The producer sets the theme for the play. The producer determines what gets on the stage and what doesn't. In other words, whenever imagine going to see a live play. And when you sit down and you look up at the stage and you see there's 2 chairs, a table, a stained glass window, an altar with a cross on the side, you realize you're in a holy place. And the theme has been set. This is long before any actor gets on the stage. This is long before there's any dialogue. The theme is set. And here's what happens. We just did the podcast on what do I imagine when I don't have any problems? I mean desires. Because most people, most of the time, I'm talking 80% of the world here, they're just waiting for a problem to fix. They're waiting for a problem they can have an opinion on. And as you escape that, because we all begin there, stuck on problems, instead of engaging possibilities. See, most people I've talked to, and I say, hey, you know what? My grandma, when I was little, she said, if you save $1 a day, she said, the greatest regret that I have is I didn't bother saving $1 a day. She knew I was an enterprising little fella. We grew up on welfare, for God's sake. Yeah, literally, from the box to the hand to the mouth, right? The food basket from the poor people place. And I went out and I took index cards, I made business cards, I went around weeding people's gardens, mowing their lawns for money. That was my childhood. I wanted decent clothes for school. And my grandma said to me, look, the thing that I regret most is not saving when I was younger. She said, if you save $1 a day, every day you work, and I worked pretty much every day. If you save $1 a day, what you're going to have by the time you're 50 is going to blow your mind. Because she would have been about 50 then. And lo and behold, I didn't do it. It was problematic for me to save money. See, if I would have taken another approach and just been investing, just taking a little bit of time and going, you know what, I'm going to invest this $1. If I do it 5 days a week, if I do it 7 days a week, I've got $365 by the end of the year in the bank. It's not much, but yeah, heck, for a 12-year-old, that's a great beginning. You multiply that out, you put it at a semi-decent interest rate after so many years. Meanwhile, no biggie. Because you've got a choice every day. You can spend or you can invest. You've got a choice right now. You can wait for a problem to show up, or you can engage a possibility. This pathway of the producer is about setting the stage. It's about asking a question. What do you want on your stage? You see, I always begin with something like, wouldn't it be cool? Another one is, what would I enjoy? See, what would I enjoy today? Victoria's Yum. You know, some people say, well, it's not a big deal. You've got a happy marriage. You see, I've got a happy marriage because I make it a big deal. Not as in a problem. You see, most people go, hey, no biggie, man, not a big deal, because they're talking about problems. For me, I look at everything as a big deal. I go, wow, this is a big deal. Congratulations, all right. I go to the pool, I see my friends, that's a big deal to me. It's like I get to spend time with you. I get to eat lunch with Victoria. Hoo-ha. See, it's fun. See, I make a big deal about possibilities. I make a big deal about what am I putting on my stage. And here's the other thing, right? Being the producer, you don't have to tidy up the stage. See, a lot of people, they waste a lot of time doing a lot of things, right? Analyzing their problems, analyzing, right? Just living in shit forever, trying to figure shit out, right? Just got an email from a lovely fellow. He's been trying to figure shit out for 5 years now. He found us in 2018, and he's trying to figure shit out. I just keep telling him, do ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Pick up the attitude of Abdullah, because this passive imagining that you're doing, this endless inner argument, this endless think and do stuff, it's endless. You see, your head wants answers. Mr. 20, just one more question. See, I'll give you a secret. When somebody writes to me and says, hey, thanks for the answer, I have just one more question. Usually that's turns into 37 emails. And sometimes I just wait a day or two to get back to them. I get a lot of emails. And I'm not Google. If you want answers, go to Google. If you want experiences, come to me. Because I'm going to tell you, listen, right? How much do you think I can squeeze into an email? I can squeeze 100 times more into a podcast. What would you like me to do a podcast on? You get that's where the podcasts come from. And then there's the thing, hey, can you do 5 more podcasts for me? I've got 5 questions. And I just say, look, there's only so much I can squeeze into a podcast. Do a program. Do ManifestingMasteryCourse.com. Right? It's $1 a day. $97 for a 90-day program. Not a biggie. And here's the thing. When you choose to become an investor, you leave no room for bullshit. See, back when I was a young boy, remember my grandma said, if you save $1 a day, right? If you save $1 a day, what you'll have when you're 50, see, 50 felt like forever away. So I didn't bother. There's a couple different ways to approach life. It feels like forever away, someday, and that kind of manifesting. Don't do that. I'm in the daily wins, that whole Joseph Goddard to the max thing. Another meanwhile. So every day you're engaging problems or possibilities. You're going to engage something. A lot of people wait for problems. A lot of people search for them. Let's go turn on the news. Find something else I can get wound up about. You know, they've been talking about Armageddon and World War III since, I remember the Carter and Reagan era, right? That's when I was a young'un, 10, 12 years old. And they were talking about nuclear war with Russia. They were talking about Armageddon, Jesus coming back, rivers of blood. So I did something dumb the other day. I went online and I looked up, hey, where's my friend at? I haven't heard from her in a couple whiles. And I go and I peek, and sure enough, she's become one of them. She's addicted to it. The gloom, the doom. And it's like, why? I can tell you why. You gave up on your dreams. Meanwhile, so where was I going with this episode? I just love it. The sun's coming up. Oh yeah, the producer, the path of the producer. So the path of the producer, in Remarkable, we've explored this, associated with the direction of the east. When you orient your life according to it's a new day, it's a new dawn, it's springtime. It's time to plant some seeds. It's time to celebrate like the birds do. The songbirds sing the song of Thanksgiving before the sun comes up. I'm thankful for my wish fulfilled. I'm thankful that I know who I am before I have any evidence. Because the evidence of the senses is always lagging way behind. The evidence of the senses has to do with seeing the shadow. I'm the sunshine, so are you. If you got gold, here's my suggestion to you. Go to Neville Goddard's store, peek around, pick up something. Because there's only so much I can squeeze into a podcast. If you haven't done ManifestingMasteryCourse.com, definitely do that. Start today. I had a lady ask me the other day, I have big doubts about this. do you really honor your 60-day money-back guarantee for Manifesting Mastery course? And I said, I absolutely do. But here's the thing. I don't want you joining. If you are imagining big doubts already, you're just going to waste both of our time. I'm not into that. On the other hand, if you can imagine sharing with me emails, right? Because most members send me an email once a week, right? We give you our personal update. We ask for yours if you want to. And most people do. And that's where friendships happen. That's where the success stories that we share come from. Your updates. If you want us to share them, we share them. If you don't want us to, we don't. But here's the cool thing. If you're imagining doubt already, you're dead in the water. On the other hand, if you do what the producer does, if you clear that stage of all the bullshit, because before you can put shit on the stage, you have to get everything off. Here's the secret, the path of the producer. Before you can get anything on the stage, before you can set the stage, the 2 chairs, the table, the candle on the table, the stained glass window, the little altar with the cross on it, you realize finally you're in a holy place. Before you can set the stage, you've got to clear all the rubbish off. Once you clear all the rubbish off and you set the stage, sooner or later there's going to be narrative. Sooner or later there's going to be dialogue. Sooner or later the actors will do what the actors do. So if you got gold, you know what to do. Join us at ManifestingMasteryCourse.com if you haven't. Otherwise, go to NevilleGoddardStore.com. Go get goodies, have fun, dive deeper. Because there's only so much I can put into a podcast. And you get it if you're getting gold. Go get the gold mine. See ya.